Welcome back to Tabletop Paper Company's Friday Finance. We are yet again counting down our top 5 cards that have risen in price this week. And congratulations to our 2 Vault of Whispers giveaway winners. I'll be reaching out to you guys, so stay tuned for that. And a shout out to everyone who commented on last week's video. It's your guys' engagement with these posts, like a like or a comment, subscribing. That's how we're growing, so I owe it to you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Without further ado, let's start off with our number 5 card this week. It is Winged Hive Tyrant. This card is an absolute match made in heaven with Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog decks normally care about creatures that have haste and flash, and with Sonic's ability Gotta Go Fast, whenever Sonic the Hedgehog attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control with flash or haste. Then with Winged Hive Tyrant, all other creatures you control with counters on them have flying and haste. If Sonic has a +1/+1 counter on himself, he'll be swinging in the air, which gives you a much higher chance of not losing him in combat, which is a necessity because you need to attack with him for his ability to trigger, which again gives all your creatures with flash or haste a +1/+1 counter, again giving them flying. Coming up in our number 4 slot is Masako the Humorless. This card has 2 abilities. The first is essentially flash. You can play Masako the Humorless anytime you could play an instant. The second you might think is essentially Vigilance, but it's a lot better. If Masako is your commander, you can keep her in the command zone and tap your creatures for things like crewing, for things like station. So especially with Edge of Eternities' new spacecraft cards, you can tap them on your turn, hold up Masako in your command zone, and your opponents will be scared to attack you because if you play Masako, then you can block with all your tapped creatures. It's a really good combo. Coming in at the number 3 slot is Valakut Exploration. If you were a part of our Discord by August 18th, you would have known about this card when it was about $2. Now it's over $5. This card has the landfall ability, and whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you exile the top card of your library and you can play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Then at the beginning of your end step, you put the cards exiled with this card into their owner's graveyard, and then it deals that much damage to each opponent. Lots of land cards have been going up in price recently, both because of Edge of Eternities and the upcoming Avatar set. Earthbending is a really cool mechanic, and again, as a reminder, there will not be precons for Avatar, so any cards like this that pair well with the new Avatar cards are going to see a spike in price. So if you're thinking about building a deck around one of the new Avatar cards, you should probably start picking up cards sooner rather than later, because once the Avatar cards do come out and people start building decks, it's very likely that we'll see a second round of card spikes. And moving right along to our number 2 slot, it's Oboro Breezecaller. If you're unfamiliar with Oboro, it might seem a bit ordinary because there are tons of creatures that allow you to untap target land. However, unlike most cards like it, you don't have to tap Oboro to activate its ability. This means if you have a land that can tap for a lot of mana, all you need is more lands you control to return to its owner's hand, and you can continue to untap that land and generate tons of mana. One of the most famous cards to pair with Oboro is Gaia's Cradle, and now we have the new Evindo Waking Haven, so it's a much more affordable combo to pull off. And there are tons of cards you can insert into this combo to make it infinite. I'll put a list in the description below. If you found this update helpful, you'll probably find future ones helpful as well, so please consider subscribing, and any engagement with the post like a like or a comment really helps us grow. Coming in at our number 1 slot, it's a pretty common card, it's Fellwar Stone. As more and more people get into Magic and expand their commander horizons, they're looking to build 4 or 5 color decks, and Fellwar Stone is an absolutely amazing card to include as a mana rock for only 2 mana, and in most cases, you're going to be able to tap for a few colors of mana, and sometimes even 5, as long as you're playing in a commander pod with 4 total players. This is a great card to have in your collection. I wish I had more. If you're thinking about building a 4 or 5 color deck, it might be good to pick one up now, and the price does vary a bit depending on what version of it you have. And if you're thinking about building an Avatar deck in the future, please consider pre-ordering a pack from our Discord to help us out and support the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, check out our TCG Player Store, and follow our Whatnot account for giveaways in the near future.